Hey, if you're a runner who's feeling kind of stuck, like you've hit a performance plateau, or maybe you're over 40 and just looking for a smarter, more sustainable way to train, then this explainer might just be the game changer you've been looking for.
So get this. What if I told you the secret to running faster was to, well, run slower? I know, it sounds completely backwards, doesn't it? But that is the core promise of a training philosophy that has helped countless athletes build incredible endurance, sidestep injuries, and really unlock their true potential. So, what we're diving into today is called the MAF method, or just MAF for short. It comes from the brilliant mind of renowned endurance coach Dr. Phil Maffetone. And believe me, it completely flips the old school, no pain, no gain, high-intensity training model right on its head.
MAF stands for Maximum Aerobic Function. And, while we're mostly going to focus on the exercise part of it today, it's really a holistic approach. It's about seeing the whole picture, nutrition, stress, everything, all working together to achieve one main goal, to build your body's aerobic system into an incredibly efficient fat-burning engine.
Instead of constantly redlining and pushing yourself to the absolute limit on every single run, the Maffetone method is built on one surprisingly simple rule. You train at or below a very specific, personally calculated maximum aerobic heart rate. That's it. That's the foundation of the whole thing.
All right, so you're probably wondering, how do I find this magic number? Well, it's actually way more straightforward than you might think. It all comes down to what's famously known as the 180 formula. The starting point is super simple. You just take the number 180 and subtract your age. So, for example, if you're 40 years old, your starting MAF heart rate is 140 beats per minute. That number, 140, becomes your training ceiling. You don't go above it.
But wait a second. It can't be that simple for everyone, right? And you'd be correct. We're all different. Our unique health and our training history play a huge role, which means we need to fine-tune that number to make it just right for you.
Okay, this is where we really dial it in and make it personal. So just take a look at these conditions. If you're recovering from a major illness or you're on regular medication, your body's under more stress, so you're going to subtract 10 from your number. If you're getting injured a lot or you feel like you're going backwards in your training or you're catching every cold that goes around, subtract 5. On the flip side, if you've been training consistently for over 2 years with no major problems, your body is well adapted, so you get to add 5. And if you're making steady progress, no changes needed, just stick with that original number. See? This makes sure your training zone is tailored perfectly to you right now.
Now, I've got to be honest with you. At first, this is going to feel really slow. And that's the single biggest hurdle for most runners to get over. But trust me, the payoff for this patience is absolutely massive. So let's break down exactly why this go slow method is so ridiculously effective.
To really get this, think of your body as having two different engines. You've got your anaerobic engine, which runs on carbs, think sugar, for those short, high-intensity bursts of power and speed. Then you have your aerobic engine. This is the one MAF training develops. It runs on your body's almost limitless supply of fat for fuel. When you build this engine, you can go for hours without hitting that dreaded wall because you become a super efficient, fat-burning endurance machine.
And the results, well, they really do speak for themselves. You're building this massive aerobic foundation, which leads to just incredible endurance. And by dialing back the intensity, you dramatically lower your risk of those nagging overuse injuries. What does that mean for you? Better recovery, more consistent training week after week, and ultimately a much longer and healthier life as a runner.
And this is exactly why this method is such a game changer for runners over 40. I mean, let's be real. As we get older, recovery takes a bit longer, and the risk of getting hurt from constant high-intensity pounding just goes up. MAF gives you a sustainable way to keep improving, year after year, no matter your age.
All right, but of course, not everyone's on board. There's a ton of skepticism around this whole go slow to go fast idea. So you know what? Let's tackle the 3 biggest myths about the Maffetone method right now, head on.
This is the big one. By far, the #1 complaint you will hear is this. It can feel painfully, even frustratingly slow when you first start. It messes with your ego.
But here's the reality. You are building a foundation. Think about it. You would never put the fancy roof and windows on a house before you poured a solid concrete foundation, would you? Of course not. It's the exact same principle with your running. Be patient, stick with it, and I promise, over time, you'll be absolutely shocked to see your pace get faster and faster, all while your heart rate stays nice and low.
Okay, myth number 2. This is the big fear of losing your edge, right? The idea that if you're not doing high-intensity intervals all the time, you'll lose all your top-end speed.
But here's the secret. The Maffetone method doesn't actually eliminate speed work. It just puts it in its proper place strategically. Once that big aerobic base is rock solid, then you start to sprinkle in those high-intensity workouts. It's all about balance, not just hammering yourself into the ground every day.
And finally, there's this big misconception that this is some kind of, remedial training program, that it's just for people who are getting started.
The truth? This method is an incredibly powerful tool for every level of runner. For seasoned, experienced athletes, it can be the absolute key to smashing through performance plateaus, preventing burnout, and unlocking levels of endurance that you didn't even know you had.
So after all that, what's the final takeaway? What's the bottom line? Is this method actually right for you? Let's bring it all together.
One runner who adopted the method really put it perfectly. They said, the Maffetone method has been a game changer for me. It can be for anyone looking to optimize their performance and stay healthy. It's really about a fundamental shift in how you think about progress.
So your path forward is actually pretty clear. Step 1, calculate your personalized MAF heart rate. Remember, 180 minus your age, then adjust. Step 2, commit to building that aerobic base. Train at or below your number. And step 3, and this is the hardest part, just be patient and be consistent. The results will come.
And all of this leaves us with one final, really important question. We all know how to train hard. That's the easy part. The real challenge, the real question is, are you training smart? So take a hard look at what you're doing. Which one is it, really?